Cool. All right, welcome to Tempo Community Call, March 2024. I had to look at the corner of my screen to figure out what month it was. We have a short-ish agenda today, I feel like, but we do have some good points on there. Certainly, questions are welcome, as always. And I think I should share. Let me actually find, oh, there it is. There's the doc. And let me share. And prior to starting the recording, we had a fantastic discussion about, what were we talking about? Keyboards and our mechanical keyboards. Agenda, 3 points. Tempo 2.4 exists. We cut it a couple weeks back at the end of last month. We did find an issue, though. Actually, a community member found an issue. So we don't use the bucket prefix internally, but all 3 object storage have an option to configure a prefix, which will just basically make Tempo use, things a few folder paths down, however you want. Somebody discovered this externally that 2.4, we made some polling changes there for TCO improvement. And someone found that we did not honor the bucket prefix, so we're getting a PR in now. Thank you to this BP Foster fellow. And Zach is doing a good review on it. Once we get this in, we'll cut a 2.4.1 because it's just broken right now, I believe. Zach, do you have any details on that to share?
The change looks good. We're fighting with CI right now, the Go const. I don't know what to say about that right now, but the change looks good, and I've been testing it locally this morning, so
okay.
I think we'll get that in soon.
Okay. And I think this person even added integration tests, so we won't break it in the future, and we can feel confident we won't mess it up, next time. Cool. This is a cool thing that's coming up. It's kind of in progress work. We want to stream everything through a set of gRPC endpoints from the front end. So it was about a year ago at this point, and we've kind of wrestled with it some, walked through some different technologies, worked with Grafana. I think we finally really landed on a pattern we like, but we want to stream search results, which we already do. We also want to stream tags. We want to stream metrics. We want basically all endpoints to have a gRPC streaming endpoint, because we just feel the user experience is so much better when you start receiving those results just a second or two after you initiate your query. It also has the nice advantage of seeing some sort of progress bar or some kind of feedback on the weight of the query you executed. So you can make adjustments. If you execute a query and then 30 seconds later it's gone 1%, maybe you could make some changes to make that faster or change the time range, or you have these options instead of just staring at a spinning, spinner in Grafana. So we did a refactor here, or this is the second PR, which Mario is definitely reviewing. This is the first one where we added all of the different pipeline items that allow us to rewrite our HTTP pipeline into this new async format. And the second PR here is going to move all the tags over. Next, I will tackle the last few endpoints, and then look at trying to get our new metrics endpoint onto streaming. So far so good. But I think this will just really make the experience of Tempo, first class open source product with Grafana doing streaming all endpoints from Tempo, the distributed tracing backend. Finally, and I'll look to Marty if Marty has any other metrics updates. We've been working very hard on it. He suggests no by his reaction there. Metrics are technically available in Grafana Cloud Traces right now, but don't tell anyone. Does anyone have a Grafana Cloud Traces account? I don't even have one. I just use our internal tooling. But if anyone has one and could show this, it'd be great. We kind of accidentally worked ourselves into a corner where both Tempo and Grafana would support metrics from traces, and they just rolled out. So it works right now in Grafana Cloud with a ton of caveats, like it's broken in all kinds of weird ways. So if you do have a Grafana Cloud Traces account, please fool with it, play with it, learn about it, give us feedback. Currently, it doesn't work for any time range over 30 minutes due to a bug. And you can basically pipe, thank you, Marty, any traceql query, any descendant query, any span set combination, anything you want, and then you just pipe that into a simple rate, and it'll show you the rates. In addition, you can do rate by field, such as such as the resource service name or the span name or the HTTP path or really anything you want. So this actually works, which is something surprising. Does anyone have a Grafana Cloud Traces account that can show, or do we all just use our internal tools?
I mean, I have one, but it doesn't have any data.
Okay.
Like regularly sent to it. Yeah.
Sure, we can fool with it. Well, maybe next community call we'll do a more in-depth state of metrics and a more in-depth state of metrics and a demo or something, kind of show where we are, because things have come a long way, and it's quite capable, but we still just right now we're pushing very, very hard on performance at hundreds of megabytes per second scale, more than cleaning up loose ends. And so there's a lot of rough edges when you just try to use it, essentially, is where we are right now. Cool.
Yeah, to add a little bit to that. So just performance, scale, things like that at larger workloads is really what we want. Language features, we have a huge list of all kinds of features and capabilities that we want to add. I think in some ways that's kind of easier. We want to make sure we get it right fundamentally before we add all the additional complexity for all the new stuff on top.
Yep. Right, language feature wise, I think quantile would be the next thing, and after that I kind of don't care for a long time. Rates and quantiles do so much work, there's so much value from this that I think even just letting it sit and continuing to improve for a while we get feedback about what good next steps are. So you could do quantile, you type in perhaps your thing, whatever your quantile is, and some field from the thing. You could I assume we're going to write it in a way where you could even do any value field, any numerical value, but I'm not going to guarantee anything. Obviously duration would work.
Yeah, no, that would work. I don't know how exactly it would work, but we'll definitely support that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not sure. There's stuff we need to figure out there. What would be the bucketing internally for status code? Maybe. Yeah, are they ordered? Yeah, I guess because they're numeric, you could sort them.
What does P99 of the status code mean? You get the value back 304 or something. Well, there you go.
Yeah, 497.
It's a problem if you're at 497. That means you got a lot of 500s in there somewhere.
Yeah.
We're going to write all our SLOs against the P99 of the status code from now on. Cool. All right. Like I said, it was kind of a short agenda to do a quick recap. 2.4 is out. We do have a known issue. We're going to do a 2.4.1. Streaming all endpoints is in the works. It's a big initiative for us. I think the two major user-facing initiatives are the metrics and the streaming. And then, if you have Grafana Cloud Traces, if you have a free account, if you don't, sign up for a free account, fool with it a little bit. If you do, give some of these metrics queries a shot, but don't tell anybody because it's mostly broken. But it will be working a lot better soon. All right. Questions from the peanut gallery. Thoughts, questions, any ideas, favorite pizza toppings, keyboard screenshots?
I have a question for the streaming. Will that also work over HTTP? So currently, for example, you have a TraceQL query. Currently, you get back a big file of JSON. Is that also planning to somehow support over the HTTP API or only?
So the streaming will only be over gRPC, but gRPC is built on HTTP2, right? And Grafana actually had us put it on the same port. So you can do both HTTP and gRPC queries on the same port and tempo with a configuration option and see the streaming behavior. Let me look at this real fast again. Part of this PR, which is only 38 files and 3,000 lines changed, is adding gRPC capable CLI. So the CLI supports a gRPC call, so you can run this and see the exact like raw output, the JSON like streaming back. And the search already does. So if you right now in tip of main tempo 2.4 tempo, you can run a gRPC from the command line against the streaming endpoint, and you can see every single like JSON object it throws back until it closes it. So Grafana, of course, hides this from you and renders it nicely in the results. But if you want to see the raw output, then the CLI will show that to you. Cool.
So Grafana internal is using the gRPC endpoint to query.
Yep. So if you've seen the streaming behavior, then yes, that's over gRPC. What technology they use between the Grafana backend and the Grafana frontend, I'm not sure. It might be WebSockets or something, but the like connection between the from Tempo to Grafana backend is gRPC, yes.
Okay. And more question to the Parquet version 4. Is there any movement, Chris?
Mario, do you want to handle that? If not, I can take it. I don't mind, but I think you're just a bit closer to it.
Sorry, can you repeat the question? Didn't hear it.
He's thinking about his favorite pizza toppings. He did not.
Just if there is any movement on the for Parquet 4 format merge request.
Oh, vParquet 4. I think it's we just decided to shelve it for a bit because we had other priorities. But I think eventually we'll want links and arrays and all of that, and that essentially requires vParquet 4. I think we've done extensive testing of it in real cells with real workloads, and the performance was pretty similar. The only drawback, I think, was block size. Basically, if we add more columns and more attributes and more ways of storing data, that's just going to increase block size. But yeah, we think it's like a decent trade-off, or like a reasonable trade-off. So yeah, I don't know, maybe in a couple of months we move it forward. I'm not sure.
Right. So vParquet 4 is definitely happening. Like the link support, like Mario was saying, we absolutely want it. It's happening. It's just it got pushed due to the team's focus on metrics. And Adrian has a small leave of absence, and he was really the primary owner and driver of that feature. And without him on the team for this small bit, it was difficult to really feel comfortable merging it and feel comfortable moving it forward, because he was going to kind of be the owner of that process. So once he gets back, he'll take it back up. He'll make sure it's completely up to date. We'll get it merged. There is a small performance regression, like Mario was saying, but I think we're just going to eat it, and it's going to be fun. And we'll just improve in the future. Maybe 5 will be more of a performance-focused version. So yeah, I know, Andreas, you're the one who put some time into that, right? You put a few extra columns in there.
Yeah, I like to get the service stats, kind of like how many services are involved in a trace, how many errors and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We recognize that, contribution, and we really appreciate they put the work in, and we like it too. We wouldn't have merged it if we didn't think it was something valuable for us as well, for the Grafana UI. So it's a great contribution, but it just kind of got caught up in this small leave of absence issue. So no big deal. When Adrian gets back, which he will, I think within the next month, is that correct? I'm not 100% sure about the timeline, but he is coming back soon, and you can resync with him. Of course, the team internally will resync, and then that will be his #1 goal, will be to finish up vParquet 4, get it merged, and then we can start working on links, and you will have that data in the backend also.
Okay, sounds great.
Cool.
And one last question. I saw currently the Tempo is internally instrumented with the Open Tracing SDK. Are you open that I change it to the Open Telemetry SDK?
Please do. We keep trying and we just cannot find the bandwidth to do it. If you can get it over to OTel, we would love it.
Thank you.
We need to wait for the server change on that. So that's the DS kit upstream. Without that, I think we're blocked. And I know there is work on the Mimir team that's happening, I think, this quarter to help that. So this may be coming. We may be forced into it soon. So I would expect that we know more by the end of the quarter.
I guess I'm not totally aware of this, Zach. Do you want to follow up real quick and see if Andreas can contribute the DS kit thing, and if it's part of doing the tempo thing, maybe he'd be interested in just closing the whole loop. Is that possible? Or are you saying we have to wait on Mimir for something?
I'm saying the work on Mimir is already in flight because they're trying to convert. I think we're trying to convert all the databases simultaneously, and because of the way the server is instrumented, we need to wait for the server change.
Okay. If you want to poke at it some, Andreas, to kind of find this problem, I do know, like Zach is saying, DS Kit does some kind of automatic instrumentation stuff with tracing at the server level. So if you want to see what that is, you're welcome to, but it does sound like there's momentum on our side to move that forward too.
Awesome. Yeah, I won't get time for it immediately, but in the next few weeks or something, I will take a look at that.
Sure. Thank you. Cool. Anything else, crew? All right. You all take care. It was good talking to y'all, seeing you, and we'll catch you in about a month with hopefully some more metrics updates and some more Parquet 4 updates. But everybody take care, and I'll see you when I see you.
Bye, everybody.